A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman plucks it with her own hands. Proverbs 14 verse 1. Why is building a home likened to the woman? Why not the both of them? Or the man? Some foolish things Christian women do that destroys marriages. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Yes, one of those foolish things you're going to be looking at is going about the call of God for your life without prior consent or approval of your husband. Ella, what are you saying? Your husband? When God has already said it, when God has already authenticated it, yes, your husband. But you must understand that first, there is an order of creation. Man as the head of the woman. So whatever you do, you need his approval, you need his support, his financial support, or his spiritual support, his material support. And but what if my husband is not a believer? He doesn't need to be a believer to get an approval. So what if my husband is not a believer? He will never support me. Who said your husband will never support you? It doesn't take in anything to support you. If you live right, if you submit to that man, if you are loyal to that man and you live right, and God has called you, of course God can call a woman in ministry. It's depending on the area God is calling you into. You know the area. God can as well communicate that to your husband, or as well communicate that to you, or maybe give him a go ahead in different ways. So what do you need? Is approval. Say, what if my husband is not responding? He's taking so much of the time. And people are falling under the power. Don't get carried away with that. The devil can make things look like it's real, deceive you. Even if it will take 1 year of impact and 20 years of no impact, it's the best thing to do. So if you want to make a move in the ministry, if you want to do well, excel in ministry without struggles, you need his consent, you need his approval. Whether he's a believer or he's not a believer, he is a priority. So going about the call of God for your life without his utmost approval, which is not given under duress, it's not wisdom. Then number 2, honoring the word of your pastor, reverencing your pastor, respecting your pastor against your husband. Whatever you cannot do, if you cannot measure the level of respect, reverence, honor you give to your pastor, to your husband, then you are missing it. It is not wisdom. There are a lot of times some pastors may demand certain things from you. You need his consent as well. You go to your husband. So how do you rate that? If you cannot, for instance, kneel down before your husband and apologize, you never do it to your pastor. If you're doing it to your pastor and you cannot do it to your husband, then you are deceiving yourself. You are not being wise. A lot of women do that. And any pastor that encourages you to disrespect your husband is not helping you. You're not being wise. There are quite a lot of women that are missing out in this area in the name of, they get so casual, they get so manipulated in the church that they forget that there is an order of creation. There is a man over their head, and if we can impress our husbands, if we can do things right, submit to our husbands in everything, you discover that you do not fall short of this thing. So don't forget, you don't honor the word of your pastor over your husband. And one thing I want to bring to mind is, if you want to give and your husband is saying no to it, you don't have a choice but to respond to what your husband has said. You don't have a choice. That is the best bet, and I tell you, it's the height of wisdom to honor your husband. There are a lot of women, they do funny things. I've seen cases where an unbelieving man supports a believing wife. Those of you that have believing husbands, fine and good, but there are some that do not. Despite his place in your life is more like a God in your life. Yes, I know a lot of people are going to find it very funny to accept this, but it's the truth from God's word. Yeah, there are other religions, yes, but this works. I've walked it and I know it works. So never honor your pastor against your husband. I'm not against you honoring your pastor. No, I didn't say that. But so long as he contradicts an instruction your husband gives, never do that. I've seen cases where a woman will stand by a pastor to fight the husband. Number 3, worshiping in separate ministries from your husband. It is not wisdom. There is an importance in spiritual connectivity. You know, we have different religion, Christian backgrounds. Your husband is worshiping in the ministry. Say, oh, I don't like the church. I want to be here. I want to be there. You need to follow your husband in everything. What if my husband is going to Ogboni? Or what if he's going to... You have to stay in the place of prayer and ask God to help you to get through that. But you need to be in the same faith with him for you to flow. Spiritual controls the physical. Once you're able to connect in the spirit, then you can subdue in the physical. So note that it is not wisdom where you worship as a wife in a different ministry other than where your husband worships. Or let's say your husband does not even go to church, is a different case. That's a different case. And he agrees to it. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. My Facebook handle is right there on the screen, and my Instagram handle. I do movies too, so you're going to see them interchangeably. You will get amazing contents. So don't forget to do that. I love you. My name is Ella. Bye for now.